Goon Squad. All right. It's your boy Sal here to talk to you about the Miami Heat. We are doing the NBA season preview. We're doing one for all 30 teams. Today I'm talking to you about the Miami Heat. And if you're interested in, figuring out what's good with the NBA this year, what's good with my team, what's good with my conference, whatever it is, or you're just looking for a fantasy relevance, relating to each team, or trying to identify if your team is going to hit that over under on win totals. We're here to talk to you about it all. Season outlook, fantasy relevance, over unders, whatever. We're here to discuss it. And today we're starting with the Miami Heat. But before we get into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and like this video. And yeah, let's get into it. All right, so the Miami Heat. Uh, these guys spent their whole offseason thinking they were gonna get Dame Lillard. Um, Look, I'm not gonna laugh at them, but these guys really made it a big deal. Jimmy Butler was putting it on his story. Dame Lillard was telling his agent to say that, hey, look, I'm only going to the Miami Heat. I'm not going anywhere else. Um, it just kind of seemed like it was almost like a lock, but in the back of everyone's mind, we're like, what if they don't get him? And that's exactly what happened. And so, it's sad to say, but the Miami Heat kind of looking like clowns right now. Didn't get their players, spent the whole offseason thinking they would, and they ended up, not really replacing some of the talent that they had going out. I mean, mainly like playoff performers like Gabe Vincent and Max Strus, who really had fantastic playoff runs, especially in particular series. But they, didn't replace those guys. I mean, they got Josh Richardson, who actually had his last good season with Miami a few years back, but I'm not really sure if that really, replaces the output that Gabe Vincent was giving them, especially in the playoffs. But you know what? It's Heat culture, baby, all day. Like these guys always find a way to turn role players into like major performers, even if it's just for a series or two. This is really a playoff team, and it's interesting because every year they're like, they may not have the highest win total, but it's a playoff team at the end of the day, and no one really wants to play against Jimmy Butler in the playoffs, right? All right, so like I said, Josh Richardson in Thomas Bryant, and that's really a nice pickup because Thomas Bryant gives them some depth at center behind Bam Adebayo. James Jaquez Jr. I'm not really sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Got to hear the announcers pronounce that one first, but this guy's actually a rookie that the Heat drafted. He looks like he has like really, really good footwork. His mid-range game is nice. He's on the he's a bigger wing, I think, and he could become a Heat culture impact player later in the season. And if you're in a dynasty league and this guy's on your wire, I would definitely scoop him. In a redraft league, just wait and see. Let the rotation shake out. You got Nikola Jovic, not Jokic, but Jovic there as well, who was actually in the FIBA World Cup this past off season, and maybe taking a step up this year. But those guys are just wait and see. Never really know how this Heat rotation is going to shake out. Who's going to show out? And who's going to do what? So a lot up in the air. But like I said, Strus Vincent out, Zeller out, Haslam retired after a million years. And this is the Miami Heat win total, 45 and a half wins. um, I'm really not sure if they're actually going to surpass that. Like, it's going to be close. But they're not really like that regular season team. And with Kyle Lowry, Jimmy Butler, these guys are old, especially Kyle Lowry. These guys are on that older side, and they may need to rest during the regular season, or their body may be telling them to do so, and they may be out for extended periods or extended weeks. Um, and you really just can't depend on them hitting this win total. Not not the safest odds here. I would say I've got them at like 43 wins. and hitting that play-in. They will probably come out of that play-in, and who knows, might go back to the Eastern Conference Finals again, right? That's just what they do. They're not really too worried about the regular season. They're worried about the playoffs, and that's when they show out. So yeah, I don't like the over here, but I do like the team. Um, I like the fantasy outlook of a couple guys here. Obviously, Jimmy Butler at 19, sorry, ranked at 19, ADP of 25. I can't get behind that one, and here's why. It's the injury risk. A lot of mileage on his body last season with the deep playoff run and all. Same type of thing I was just saying with Kyle Lowry. Like these guys, he needs rest. He needs rest. He needs to recover. If you guys remember in the last playoffs, he was hurt. Like he was playing hurt. His body hadn't had the chance to rest in a couple months in the offseason. I'm not sure if that's enough for him. So I don't like Jimmy Butler in these early rounds. Obviously, if he slips a few rounds, yeah, you got to grab him. This guy is actually, he is a league winner. He does perform. If he, in the late season, when it's your fantasy playoffs and late regular season for the NBA teams, Jimmy Butler does show out during that time. And the reason that is because the Heat are usually, playing for eighth, ninth, whatever, playing to get into that play-in. They got to get some wins, and Jimmy Butler is making sure that happens, and he actually does show out during that time. But in the regular season, earlier in the season, he may not be doing that. He may be injured. He may be taking rest days, and he cannot be depended on. Bam Adebayo, however, at 32, I would take him before Jimmy Butler any day. Bam is a non-cat player. He is probably he's already broken out, but he could have another level to his game, and we might see that this year. He contributes across the board. 32 ADP. I like him at as early as 25, to be honest. So yeah, grab him. Grab this guy. He is a great center, especially if you end up with another big in your first or second round, and this guy's there in your third round. You could pair him with another all-star big or superstar big and really be set, focus on guards, and then come back to the bigs later in the draft and grab some of the sleepers out there. Tyler Hero, ADP of 70, 69.6, 70. I like him here. This guy is look, there were stretches last year where this guy was far surpassing that, top 70 rank, but there were stretches also where he struggled. I expect him to have a chip on his shoulder this year with all the trade rumors, with him going to the Blazers not wanting him. He's been in the gym. He's been working out, and I think that Tyler Hero has another level to his game. He's a breakout candidate beyond how he's already broken out. He's elite in the free throw percentage category. He's got a good field goal percentage for a guard. And I think that he's capable of putting up big numbers on any given night, especially if Jimmy Butler is missing time due to the extended season. So Tyler Hero, I like him. And I like that ADP of 70. I think he could go a bit higher as well. So yeah, you definitely want to take a look at him. There's no one else really on this roster who I'm really looking at. Unless you're in a Dynasty Keeper League, then obviously you want to look at Jaquez, Jovic, Kyle Lowry. No, Kyle Lowry, maybe you grab him on the wire and drop him just as easily. Maybe you stream him every now and then, but he just can't be depended on. It's not worth it. If he gets hurt, just drop him. He's too old. It's not worth it. Caleb Martin, not consistent enough. Josh Richardson, wait and see. Maybe he revives that old Miami Heat Josh Richardson where he was probably getting, high number of steals, maybe adding in some blocks and definitely hitting some threes. But I wouldn't really count on that. Not with drafting. It's really just Tyler Hero and Bam that are really on this team for fantasy. Jimmy Butler, obviously, if he slips. So yeah, there's that. This is obviously a contender. They're not going to finish top 4 in the East. No, hell no. Not even close. But the Miami Heat is definitely a contender. And I like their outlook this season. If they make playoffs, they're always a threat to hit the ECF, Eastern Conference Finals, and give any team a run for their money. So, yeah, that's the Miami Heat. Let me know what you think. Comment below if you think the Miami Heat are they've pushed their luck, and they may not have it in them with Jimmy Butler another year older, Kyle Lowry another year older. Obviously, a lot of fatigue there. I don't blame you, but I want to hear about it in the comments. Let's talk about it. So yeah, that's a wrap on our Miami Heat 2023 season preview. We hope you enjoyed this video. Quick shout out to our sponsor, Tenement.com, Tenement Cards. Build your dream collection. Check it out. Fractional asset backed collectibles. If you found this video informative, definitely like the video, subscribe, check us out on Instagram too. And we'll be doing one of these season previews for every single one of the 30 teams. All of the videos, 10 minutes or less, giving you that information about who's in, who's out, fantasy relevance, over, under on wins, and just general outlook. Obviously, comment below. And as always, thank you for joining us. I'm Sal for Game Day Goons. Shout out to our viewers. Shout out to you. Game Day Goons, we out. So yeah, that's a wrap on